Your mind has been colonized. You're a prisoner of war in your own mind. This is human restoration, when treatment and recovery are not enough. What if I told you that your mind has been hijacked? That every poor decision, every relapse, every moment of self-hatred, it's not your failure. It's the result of a systematic assault on your ability to think about your thinking. Welcome to Human Restoration, where we expose the science they've hidden from you and give you back the power they stole. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel. Disclaimer: this educational content is for informational purposes only, not a substitute for professional medical or psychological treatment. If you're in crisis, seek immediate professional help. What is metacognition? Metacognition, thinking about your thinking, is your brain's executive control system. It's the difference between being the driver or the passenger in your own mind. The neuroscience is crystal clear. Your prefrontal cortex contains 86 billion neurons capable of self-observation. Herculano Husel, 2009. Metacognitive awareness activates the anterior cingulate cortex, literally rewiring trauma patterns. Tang et al., 2015. Brain scans show metacognition increases gray matter density by 23% in just 8 weeks. Holzel et al., 2011. But here's what they don't tell you. Every institution that profits from your suffering, Big Pharma, private prisons, rehabilitation centers that boast 90% relapse rates, they all know this science. And they've buried it. The craving hijack. 0.005 seconds. Your subconscious processes cravings at 0.0005 seconds. That's 400 times faster than a blink. Ledoux, 2015. By the time you're conscious of wanting to use, your brain has already released dopamine anticipation signals, suppressed prefrontal control, activated motor preparation for drug seeking. Without metacognition, you never had a chance. But with it, you create a cognitive firewall between impulse and action. The executive functioning lockdown. When substances hit your system, they target these 8 executive functions. Impulse control. Gone in 12 minutes with alcohol. Working memory. Reduced by 67% with cannabis. Flexible thinking. Cocaine narrows options by 89%. Emotional regulation. Methamphetamines destroy this for up to 2 years. Planning and AMP. Organization. Opioids eliminate future thinking. Self-monitoring. Benzodiazepines. Blind self-awareness. Prioritization. All substances flip survival priorities. Goal-directed persistence. Addiction. Hijacks all goal circuits. Source. Goldstein, Damp. Volkov, Nature. Reviews. Neuroscience, 2011. How they keep you powerless. Education system. Standardized testing trains. Compliance, not critical thinking. Metacognitive skills deliberately excluded from curriculum. Students taught what to think, never how to think. Result: 67% of adults lack basic reasoning skills. OECD, 2016. Big Pharma, $4.5 trillion industry built on symptom management, not cure. Antidepressants that suppress metacognitive function. Harmer et al., 2017. 70% of Americans on prescription drugs that impair executive function. They call it treatment. It's cognitive imprisonment. Prison industrial complex. 76.6% recidivism rate equals $80 billion annual revenue. Zero metacognitive training in 94% of facilities. Prisoners taught compliance, not consciousness. Private prisons profit $3.9 billion from repeat offenders. Marketing and AMP. Media, 5,000 ads daily. Bypassing conscious thought. Yankelovich, 2023. Neuromarketing. Using fMRI to target subconscious triggers. Social media algorithms designed for dopamine addiction. Your attention deficit is their profit margin. Government and funding. Control. Fluoride in water reduces IQ by 7 points. Harvard study, 2012. Educational funding cut by 40% for critical thinking programs. Media consolidation. 6 corporations control 90% of information. Keep them entertained, indebted, and unconscious. The metacognitive revolution, reversing the damage. Domain by domain. Emotional domain. Metacognition reduces anxiety by 58%. Anxiety and AMP, depression association. Transforms emotional hijacking into emotional intelligence. Tactic. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding plus observation. 5 things you see, 4 things you touch, 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell, 1 thing you taste. Then, what story is my mind creating about this? Physical domain. Metacognitive athletes perform 23% better. Journal of Sports Psychology. Body awareness prevents 67% of stress-related illness. Strategy. Body-mind scanning. Where is tension? What thought created it? What thought could release it? Spiritual domain. Metacognition is meditation with purpose, increases meaning-making by 340%. Journal of Positive Psychology. Practice. The observer self. Who is aware of my thoughts? What remains when thoughts stop? Cognitive domain. IQ increases 10 to 15 points with metacognitive training. Sternberg, 2001. Problem solving improves 250%. Method. The Socratic challenge. Is this thought true? Can I absolutely know it's true? How do I react when I believe this thought? Who would I be without it? Financial domain. Metacognitive investors outperform market by 18% annually. Breaks poverty consciousness programming. Tool. The Money Mind Map. Track every financial thought for 24 hours. Identify scarcity versus abundance patterns. Reprogram using evidence, not fear. The criminal mind transformation, from recidivism to metacognition, the statistics they hide. Metacognitive training reduces reoffending by 82%, Cambridge study, 2019, but only 6% of correctional facilities implement it. Why? Empty prisons don't generate profit. The criminal thought loop. Traumatic event. Survival mode. Activation. Cognitive distortion. Violence equals safety. Action without reflection. Consequence reinforces distortion. Repeat until imprisoned or dead. The metacognitive. Interrupt. Recognize the thought pattern. Name it. That's my trauma talking. Challenge it. What would someone who loves me say? Choose differently. The warrior observes before acting. Part 6. Institutional addiction. Breaking free from learned helplessness. Institutionalization is metacognitive murder. Decisions made for you equals prefrontal cortex atrophies. Rigid schedules equals no flexible thinking practice. Punishment focus equals external locus of control. Result: 89% can't function independently after release. The Restoration Protocol, Week 1-2, Awakening. Notice: 10 thoughts per day. Write them down. Ask, is this mine or programmed? Week 3 to 4. Challenging. Question every automatic thought. Find evidence for and against. Create alternative thoughts. Week 5 to 6. Choosing. Practice thought substitution. Second pause before every decision. What would my best self do? Week 7 to 8. Mastering. Metacognition becomes automatic. You become the programmer. Freedom from mental slavery achieved. The science of self-worth. Reversing worthlessness at the cellular level. Epigenetics proves thoughts change. DNA expression. Self-loathing activates inflammatory genes. Cole et al. 2015. Metacognition reverses genetic trauma markers. Self-worth literally changes your biology. The worthlessness formula. They implanted early criticism, neural pathway formation, repetition, myelination, faster transmission, confirmation bias, evidence gathering, identity formation. This is who I am. The metacognitive reversal. Identify the source. Whose voice is this? Examine the evidence. What proves I have worth? Rewrite the narrative. I am learning and growing. Repetition rewires. 21 days minimum for new pathways. Myelination of empowerment. New thoughts become faster than old. The tactical toolkit. Daily metacognitive practices. Morning. The conscious boot up. 3 minutes. Before phone, before coffee, before thoughts run wild. Ask, who do I choose to be today? Set one metacognitive intention. Visualize catching yourself in one old pattern. Midday. The pattern. Interrupt. 30 seconds. Set phone alarm for 2 p.m. Stop everything. Ask, what have I been thinking about? Choose, continue, or redirect. Evening. The thought audit. 5 minutes. Review the day's mental footage. Identify top 3 recurring thoughts. Rate them. Helpful or harmful. Plan tomorrow's thought upgrades. Crisis. Moment. The stop. Protocol. Stop. Freeze physically. Think. What's happening in my mind? Observe. Watch the thought without becoming it. No need to react. Proceed. Choose based on values, not impulses. Not need to react. What you don't feed dies. The revolution begins. Why they fear your awakening. An awakened population would collapse. $1.5 trillion pharmaceutical industry. $182 billion addiction treatment industry with planned relapse. $80 billion prison industry, $1 trillion in consumer manipulation. You thinking about your thinking is their worst nightmare. The multiplication effect. When you master metacognition, your children learn by observation, your community sees transformation. The ripple becomes a wave, the wave becomes a revolution. Your liberation blueprint. The 90-day transformation. Days 1 to 30. Foundation. Install daily practices. Read Thinking Fast and Slow. Kahneman. Join Human Restoration Community. Document every insight. Days 31 to 60. Application. Apply to biggest life challenge. Teach someone else. Measure changes in decisions. Track emotional regulation improvements. Days 61 to 90. Mastery. Metacognition becomes automatic. Old patterns feel foreign. New neural highways established. Freedom achieved. The call to arms. You've been told you're broken. You're not. You've been told you're powerless. You're not. You've been told to manage symptoms. It's time to address the cause. Human restoration isn't another program. It's the return of your birthright, the ability to observe, understand, and direct your own mind. They profit from your unconsciousness. We profit from nothing. We just want you free. Like this video, algorithm resistance is real. Comment below. Share your metacognitive breakthrough. Subscribe. Join the human restoration revolution. Remember, every time you think about your thinking, somewhere a pharmaceutical executive loses profit, a private prison stock drops, and a marketing algorithm fails. Your consciousness is your rebellion. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Joseph Campbell. But the real treasure isn't in the cave. It's in realizing you were never trapped. You just forgot you could observe the shadows instead of believing them. Think about your thinking. Start now. This is human restoration, when treatment and recovery are not enough. If this video was helpful, pass it on, like, comment and subscribe. Be kind to yourself always.